So you want to go with the .22 caliber.
Right.
Perfect gun to shoot in the house. It's a low caliber gun. You can't really kill anybody from a distance, you know? So if they take a hostage, you can just start shooting at them.
Perfect.
Just let it go.
It's just good to know.
Yeah. So when I'm on the road, I talk about getting a .22. Everybody makes fun of me. You know, because, you know, it's that guy thing. Like, oh, what, are you going to shoot a squirrel?
Yeah.
With your little, you know, little gun? But if you're in a house, that's what you want. Little .22. You know, I'm basically teaching you guys how to kill somebody, I think.
So it's a .22 you think is superior to the
well, you don't want to get
part
like
of a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. You don't have like a .44 Magnum. It's like you're going to shoot through the guy, through the wall, blow your dog's brains out, and like drop the engine out of your car. It's just way too much. Just
22.
get like a little .22. You can still hear if you miss.
Right.
Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him, we were chasing him down this alley, and he's like the nicest guy ever, but he's a big guy, he's like 6'4", he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us, and for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared, and he's a big guy, you know, so... What's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like...
College admission scandal.
There's just no winning, but...
You're a licensed helicopter pilot.
Yes, I am.
This is true. How long has this been the case?
I got it 2014 or 2015, I can't remember.
What made you want to become a licensed helicopter pilot?
Conspiracy theory and living in Los Angeles.
What is the conspiracy theory that led you to it?
Well, I'm not into, like, you know, people think if you're into conspiracy theory, they just automatically think that you think there's lizard people and shapeshifters and, you know, you have this aluminum hat on. No, I just sort of read up on the banking system, and I'm like, this is kind of a giant Ponzi scheme. And, you know, I was living in L.A., and I was just looking at it. It's like, you can't get out of this city even when it works. Like, what if the ever hit the fan? How do I get out of here? And it just seemed like up and out was the only way to do it. So,
Yeah. No.
So
I think you know.
Yeah, but then I always watched Magnum P.I. and I always liked TC, and he flew that Huey 500, which I thought was cool. And so then, and I'm also sort of a closet gearhead where I don't know a lot of stuff, but I watch videos of people repairing engines, and I just really got into it. Next thing you know, I'm flying around in those things.
I guess my question would be, though, based on your escape plan, do you have your own helicopter?
No, there's a lot of holes in it.
This is not enough for your family.
You said you're a sports fan. Were you excited about that? Were you rooting for the Cubs?
I flipped like 10 times because I love Cleveland. I also love Chicago. And the 30 for 30 on Steve Bartman kind of soured me on Cubs fans because they really had that whole Mr. Smith goes to Washington sort of like, you know, heroes like, yeah, let's play two and, you know, we win some, we lose some. And then you just see what they did to that kid. It's like, oh, these are the
You're
same.
talking about the kid that tried to catch the ball.
With 12 other people that for some reason didn't get in trouble. They all picked this guy because it landed on him. And I just looked at him like, you guys are these are the same pieces of who vote for the Red Sox, root for the Yankees. You're all the same people. So I was like, I'll root for the Indians. Then they went up 3-1, and all of a sudden Indian fans started talking trash, saying how they were going to be a dynasty or something like that. They were title town, and I was like, to hell with Cleveland. I'm just like a contrarian.
Yeah, I'm getting that sense very much.
Like, it's enjoyable.
You need to be medicated.
Like,
is
no,
what you
it's
need
enjoyable to be out here when Hillary loses, right? Like, I wouldn't want to be in Kentucky when Hillary loses and everybody's skipping around. That's boring, you know? The whole thing is just like about annoying people. Like when people tweet, it's very easy to piss off one side. The art is you got to try to get everybody. So you tweet stuff like, Trump is such a dope, he's actually going to make me vote for a woman, right? And then you just sit back.
Intentionally.
And you just watch them. You're like, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
You got everyone yelling at you.
Cereal out of a box.
Well, what are you eating cereal for?
You know, they've had a hard day at work, and that's all they need. So basically what happened was a lot of empty seats where I was up because StubHub was gouging people so bad, people just stayed home. So there was all these empty seats behind us.
Really?
So
Wow.
my buddy was taking his beer, empty beer cans, was sticking them there, and this guy, I don't know, he had a problem with it. And rather than just being, hey, do you mind, my wife and kid got to get by, can you just blah, 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 he just immediately went to, hey, was there something wrong with the bottom of your chair? And then it escalated, and then I pulled the ladies line, which usually diffuses it. I was like, ladies, come on, what are we doing? We're at the game here, right? And I go to shake his hand, he doesn't shake my hand like an So now, all my Boston anger comes up, and I'm just talking loudly about West Coast fans, forgetting that I'm a bald 50-year-old man that's going to get thrown off the upper deck. And finally, after an inning and a half, I'm at the World Series, and I'm mad at this idiot behind me. What do I care? Okay, what do I care about this guy? You know, he's not going to hurt us. There's 4 of us. You know, he was like 80 pounds overweight. So what's he going to fall on us? Like, that's the best thing he's going to do. So I went down to get a beer. When I came back, he was mean-mugging me the whole way up.
Oh, really?
He's with his wife and kid. He's sitting there, you know, looking like he just got out of Denny's. And he's looking at me like he's going to do something. So my eyes are starting to go, but I refuse to get glasses. So I'm sitting there, like, as I'm walking up, I'm like, is this guy looking at me? So, you know, when you have old eyes, you got to look away and then look back to make sure, right? So I did that. Now he thinks I'm soft. Like, oh, I got him. He blinked, right? So something happened on the walk up to him. I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I was just like, dude, come on, man. I got to respect the Dodgers. I love you guys. I'm sorry we put that thing. Can we just crush, you know, squash this, right? So I go to do the fist bump, and he's so immature, like emotionally, that when he went to do the fist bump, he didn't even move his hand up. He just had it in his lap, and he just kind of went like this. You know, like when a toddler goes to wave for the first time, they don't lift their arm up, they just imitate you like that. Like, he did that, and I did the fist bump, and then we were fine. So I think I figured something out.
What?
Because there's an overlap with Irish guys and Mexican dudes as far as like a disconnect. Like, you have like this anger, and like, I think, like, when you meet a 40-year-old Mexican dude, you got to do the math. That's like meeting a 60-year-old Irish guy in therapy years. Like, they're even more hardcore. Dude, they'll literally stand there, face 10 people with flamethrowers and not even flinch. Be like, what? I'm not backing down. So you have to give them, you got to give them the out. So I gave him the out, and then I squashed it. And then even my buddy, the English Boston guy next to me, afterwards, he walked out. He was just like, dude, how did you do that? How did you do that? It's just like, well, you know, I've been married for 5 years, losing fights all the time. So I've just learned.
Christina, congratulations on the baby. You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning.
Friday morning.
I did. My wife did.
Right,
I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, all right, you got to go park the car down in the spot. And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there, this voice in my head just said, just keep going. Just keep going. Just drive away. Which of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes, and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family, where, like, I just can't imagine, like, the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, like, the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over.
Immigration site to move to Canada crashed. Do you think people are going to really move to Canada? Do you think
I hope so. I hope so.
You want
Yeah,
people to
there's
move
too many people here. The rent's too high and all that. Just thin it out. Give us a little negotiating thing. And then what's going to be funny up there, it's not going to be Michael Moore's Canada. What he said, oh, you keep your doors unlocked and everybody's drinking syrup and
He didn't say everyone's drinking syrup. I'm quite
Talk to
certain.
anybody of color that tried to make it playing hockey up there. Listen to the stories they had. You'd be like, were you in Alabama? No, it was in Manitoba.
Do you think the debates had any impact at all? We had to watch so many debates. Do you think it had any impact on the election?
No, I think people already made up their mind. Like, I was dying laughing by the fourth one. I was just like, who are these people sitting there in the fourth debate going like, well, I don't know, but, well, that was a good point. But then again, there is that. It's like you knew who you were voting for. You knew from day one. So.
Right. What about the angle? There was a a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy
We all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates, taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. I remember Watergate like it was unbelievable. I was sitting there, I was like 3 years old, just taking it in. Yeah, I was just like, wow, this guy's going to get impeached. This is the most amazing thing that's happened in my 3-year-old life.
So as a child, you were not that interested in politics, and you don't think children are in general?
I don't. I know there's so much stuff that's going on. It's a really weird time. I just hope people stop yelling at each other, and there's a bunch of just crazy stuff out there. I'm a loner, man. I don't like people. So...
Yeah, you're not lying.
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
This Fifth Avenue during Christmas time, the
can't stand
thoughts
it.
that go through my head. The thoughts that go through my head. I just want to chop that tree down and watch it land on people as I walk over their head.
No!
I do.
That was the
Sorry.
holiday season.
I know.
No!
You knew I wasn't going to stick to that.
I know,
I was
I
trying to
don't
be
know why I used
happy.
this.
I was
Yeah,
trying to be
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
I was trying. We tried.
We tried. It was
Oh, you
different.
played drums. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
we-
fun, wasn't
yeah,
it? It went
yeah.
right in the tank.
Yeah.
Right in the tank. I got to trash people or it doesn't work.
Doesn't feel.
Is it hard playing yourself as an actor?
No, that's what I've been doing my entire limited acting career. Like, real actors are like Anthony Hopkins, where he played that serial killer in Silence of the Lambs.
Hannibal Lecter, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the next move, that should have ended his career. Like, he should never have been able to see him as anybody else. And then the next movie, he played like John Quincy Adams, and he was literally John Quincy Adams. My buddy saw this thing one time. John Travolta was talking about like just the walks. He's like, Vinnie Barbarino walked this way, Vincent Vega walked this way, like you know, whatever. The guy from Get Shorty walks this way, and I just remember hearing that, going like, dude, all my characters walk like me. They all have a Boston accent. They all look like. I'm trying to be believable.
Yeah. As yourself.
Yeah, it's basically the least amount of work you could possibly do as a performer.
About parenting in the 70s, and that's, you know, that was when I was parented like you. What do you think of parents now? How do you compare them to parents in the 70s?
Oh, it's just completely, the kids have so much power. It's like ridiculous. Like half of these kids, I'm like, I look and I just have what happened to me. And I'm like looking at a kid and be like, this kid's about ready to get punted across the grocery store. And it just never happens.
Right.
They just don't get hit. And I think it's hurting this country.
You're mad. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, like,
Let's get this. You're mad that children are not being hit.
This should be the threat of it. Half of it was just it was just your dad was acting like he was going to do it. He never did it, but your mother did. And because she was a woman, it was like, okay. Because it was like, hey, you let a girl beat you up, you kind of felt emasculated.
Yeah. What's going on here? Did you buy Alexa?
No, I don't know why people would voluntarily bug your own house. Like, do you think you're the only one listening in on that? You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? They're already... Yeah. I don't understand it. Look, I get if you're like African American, they made them change their names. You don't know where you're from. But if you're white, it's the most arrogant thing ever. Like, you know what you are, basically, don't you? Like, how full of yourself are you? Like, I just have to figure out this recipe because I am a hoot. 2% Portuguese. I knew I liked peppers too much.
So far, in your opinion, about being a dad?
I actually like going to the park with my daughter, pushing her on the swing and all that. And then also, at her first birthday party, I realized how lucky I was to have a girl because they just sort of chill out and take things in. And I saw the little boys, they're like maniacs. They're like throwing stuff, ripping. Like literally watching my daughter, she just kind of waves hi at everybody, and the boys would come up, just rip toys out of her hands. It was like breaking my heart because she's so innocent. She hasn't met an asshole yet. So like, it's sort of like this, oh, what was that vibe? And then the boys, they're climbing on, they're throwing rocks down on the car. It was like Braveheart. Every time I told them, it's like, you guys, you got to stop doing this. And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Where back in the day, you could yell at people's kids. And I think that that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. Yell at other people's kids. No, it's good.
At some point, you got to be, hey, get off. Hey, I said don't do that. And then you got to be like, hey, look, you little shit. You know, that's my car.
Yeah.
Stop throwing rocks on it.
Yeah.
Before I throw you over the wall. You're not going to do it, but you scare them a little bit.
It's tough times right now.
As a comedian, yeah, it's like the walls. It's like you're in this walk-in closet of what can be funny. And meanwhile, there's like a swirl of trash with every toothbrush he ever used spinning around the Pacific Ocean. Nobody cares. God forbid you tease the Navy a little bit, and people have like a conniption.
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, like, yeah, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, like, points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean? We're kind of watering down what is heroic behavior.
You don't think that guy, the guy who points in the direction is...
Yeah, the guy doing Warrior One, like the yoga pose. Like the battlefield is that way. No, but everything has just become that. It's just become like this,
Right.
this, you know, that whole first responder thing, you know, all these like code words you have to say. It's so stupid. I'm a first responder. I love that one. It's like, dude, I called you. I saw the fire. What am I? What do you have, like ESP? We just want to thank our first responders, and just everything has just become,